Shout out to Kamikaze Cash. He was actually in chat a little bit earlier, but make sure you like and sub to the channel.
Most rewarding trades to ever cross our path at Wall Street Bets. Every trader to indulge the WSB lifestyle suffers the same elusive dream: to become so rich off a special trade that generations of wealth are created in one fell swoop. Many a time we've seen traders reach heights in the upper 6 digits, only to subsequently lose it all and agonize in the crippling loss of watching their wealth burn to ash. But today, that changes. It is my honor to bring you the story of Holicisms, one of our own, a man who rose from humble origins to make over $7 million within the span of 1 month. A man who will spend the remainder of his life living in abundance and opulence. Living, to say it honestly, our dream. But where did this man come from? How did he make so much cheddar? And how can we also achieve that level of bag? Let's toss this salad. A longtime Redditor since 2011, Holicisms spent much of his early years on the website posting to League of Legends and Fire Emblem boards, even coming to mod some other video game sub called Teamfight Tactics. And like so many gamers, he one day decided enough was enough and he needed to lose weight. So he sought weight loss consultation on various Reddit boards on and off since 2018.
A water
Part of his
fast?
weight
How
loss
do you
journey
survive?
also includes multi-week water fasts, which sounds very stressful.
Do you just have to take a bunch of
The takeaway
electrolytes and
here is,
nutrients?
any one of us could be Holicisms. His origins are much like many of ours, and as such, I mean it when I say he is truly one of our own. But all that changed in 2021, a year when our hero's life got flip-turned upside down. Having belonged to the peasant caste in early 2021, Holicisms watched the rise and reign of GameStop and deep fucking value from his vantage point on the sidelines, helplessly licking windows as the boys made their money. Watching it all unfold, Holicisms was determined to throw some skin in the game at the next twice-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It appears that in April 2021, Holicisms acquired a keen interest in 2 particular meme stocks: GameStop, of course, and AMC. On Reddit forums TrueStock and WSB Elite, Holicisms extensively read the due diligence of esteemed apes who believed the stocks were destined to rise and reclaim their January short squeeze highs. The rising scholar of Reddit stock tips subscribed to the theory that GameStop and AMC would continuously short squeeze and directly transfer money from the hedge fund's pockets into his pockets. Some of the DD he was reading predicted an AMC price of over $400,000.
$400,000.
Never mind that would make AMC worth $168 trillion, which is 8 times higher than the US GDP. Nonetheless, some of the DD was at least conceptually sound, and Holicisms elected to tangle with AMC Entertainment, a movie theater stock with continuously decreasing revenue. His DD predicted AMC would make a decisive move higher between May 13th and June 2nd specifically, so there was no time to dally. On May 12th, Holly took all the money he and his entire family had to their name and gambled their life savings on what he saw as his redeeming chance to earn thick cheese. On May 12th, when AMC was trading for about $10 and change, the Mad Lad purchased 205 call options at the $9 strike, expiring at the end of the following week. The purchase cost approximately $33,600, almost all of his family's entire net worth. Based on his strike, we can estimate each call had a delta of about 0.7. With 205 calls, this equated to a delta of about $143.50. This means that for every dollar AMC rose, Holly could expect a $14,500 gain. For each dollar it dropped, he would lose approximately the same up to the value of his total investment. If AMC were below $9 on May 28th, his whole $33,600 and likely his relationship with his kids and any prospect of his wife staying faithful would disappear into the void. Holly packed his bags with liquid courage and a pinch of madness. He was all in. Initial results were relatively modest, but still quite impressive. By Monday, May 17th, a week into his moon mission window, AMC rose from a little over $10 up to over $14. Gamma had increased his delta further, and the Prince of Madness was sitting on well over $100,000. The stock did wallow for the next 2 days, and on May 19th, our man ditched his calls for a $40,000 gain.
Nice.
But was that enough? Not even close. You gotta pump those numbers up. The big dog was now sitting on over 72 bands, and as we all know, it is biologically impossible for a WSB degenerate to hold more than 1% of his money in cash. To this end, Holly aped out even harder. After 1 minute and 48 seconds precisely, he took his whole wad and blew it all on 610 call options, all expiring on June 18th, with varying strikes at $12, $20, and $40. After a slight $50,000 downtick that nearly gave the big guy a hemorrhage, AMC recovered by May 24th, and Holly was back in the green. It was clear skies ahead, and the great orangutan was so confident that the time for AMC to rocket was now. He cashed in his diverse set of calls to go all in on a single position, $76,000 on 815 calls at the $14 strike. This was it. One shot at making dreams come true, or he would never financially recover. Would this trade crash and burn like so many gamblers before? The apes had other ideas. AMC absolutely caught fire in the last week of May. Financial advisors were losing their shit as people cashed in their life insurance policies to buy shares of a dying movie theater chain. Kramer ripped ass on live television and didn't even try to play it off. The internet meme machine was operating at maximum force. Just 2 days into the climb, AMC was worth over $19, and Holicisms calls were worth over $350,000. From his starting point just 2 weeks prior, the champion 10x'd his portfolio. But it wasn't enough. With adrenaline kicking at 1,200 horsepower, the madman got lost in the wind and rolled up his calls once again, selling his whole position and then flexing the cash to immediately buy 2,077 calls at the $20 strike. The expiration, 2 days later. For the next 2 days, the wild boy would gain or lose about $100,000 for every $1 AMC went up and down. If AMC did not rise above $20, his entire investment would go up in smoke. But Holly didn't earn his money by being a little bitch. He was all in. And what a good move it was. Over the next 24 hours, AMC galloped higher with great avarice, doubling to over $27 by market close on May 27th. Prince Holly's position ballooned from $350,000 to over $1.5 million. I'm not even going to calculate his percentage gain from his original $33,000. Already, this was the WSB story we've been waiting for. A new millionaire of humble origins who rejected the old school 401k financial advice to forge his own path to wealth. But what's $1.5 million to an ape like Holicisms? Someone please remind me. Well, to Holly, $1.5 million is worth exactly 20,111 shares and 2,500 calls at the $27 strike, expiring the very next day. The lunatic counted to zero and threw his skin back onto the skillet. With an expiration date the next day, if AMC dropped below $27 by market close, about $1 million would get flushed down the crapper. But it would not be so. On expiration date of Friday the 28th, AMC blew up to over $30 by 10 a.m. Holly was now sitting on over $2.6 million, enough to live the rest of his life comfortably. But what good is money when you've got shares to buy? The king of apes sold his positions and then rolled it right back into the oven. Locked and loaded with 53,000 shares and 2,500 fresh new calls at the strike expiring later that afternoon, the big man could not be stopped. Or could he? AMC took a minor dump that afternoon, and Holly's position got sliced in half as his $36 calls expired. Some people might take that as a sign not to press their luck, but the wild one saw his life flash before his eyes, said screw that, and slithered his way into some more dinero. You see, Holicisms is a Theta Gang warrior at heart. He hangs out in Theta's Discord and knows the gang's power moves top to bottom. He pulled a fast one on the other apes and was able to claw back $42,000 from covered calls by the late afternoon.
Damn.
Even if his whole trade failed from this point forward, he still made over $9,000 from his original starting value. With over 1.4 million left in shares going into the following Monday, Holly took a smoke break over the long Memorial Day weekend and geared up for the next trading day. When the market reopened on June 2nd, Holly sold almost 40,000 shares and used the money to buy out-of-the-money calls expiring 3 days later. With no regard for risk, the Prince of Degeneracy got back in full-footed. What happened next is for mature audiences only. By the grace of Wall Street and the patron saint of cinema, AMC made an absolutely mind-boggling jump that very day. From $30 to $60, the dying movie chain charged higher like a dragon out of hell, carrying Holly's portfolio to over $6.3 million. dedicated, ab-ripping, cold hard tendons.
God.
For the sake of his family, the unholy Prince of Apes took his gains, converted his tenders into cash, and with the help of his wife and his girlfriend, achieved post-nut clarity before deciding his next unspecified move. It must have been one hell of a maneuver, because the next day on June 3rd, Holly suddenly had an extra $1 million. I have no idea where it came from. It was just there. The hedge funds probably decided to give him an extra $1 million just to get the out of the way. Holicisms had done it. From 33,000 to 7.626 million. The great colonel of the army of apes achieved what millions of degenerate traders can only dream of. We can only assume that when he went to his financial advisor to get some consultation, the old man blew a gasket and required extensive repair before putting a plan together.
Dude.
Let us never forget the barbarism and unfettered courage that led to this otherworldly success. Holicisms, we congratulate you with every ounce of our strength. And if you'd be so willing to accept a crown from Theta Gang, even though you clearly went your own way, then please accept this token of acknowledgement and receive your coronation as Imperator of House Theta.
Who wants to be king?
I hope you guys all enjoyed the story. Keep in mind, results not typical. You're much more likely to wind up a Toofy than a Holicisms. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
That's just crazy. Hey, make sure you show Kamikaze Cash a bit of love. Check out the video. Subscribe to the channel. Drop like, I mean, just insane. It's 7 mil.